When Mbappe arrived, we could see the body language of his junior, Jude Bellingham. All these players, everybody was trying to shine. I listened to Jude Bellingham this evening after the game. You could see that he has retreated from trying to be the shining star, now working for the team and to help Mbappe.
Watch Thrashing TV right now.
I'm Tochku Michael. Keep watching Transit TV.
Transit TV back again with my favorite studio man who go back to the studio to discuss Champions League. Real Madrid 3, City 1, the Benebois. This one finished. We're going straight away into this one. Was it, I'm not going to talk about Mbappe, we're going to talk about the defense of City. We're going to talk about City, the side-to-side football presently. Talk about some key players, especially, of course, Mbappe flourishing. Valverde, for me, it's been a key man for Madrid in this their time of defensive adversity. And, of course, we'll talk about Pep and other things. But to start, let me ask you, was this a masterclass Real Madrid performance or just a rubbish Manchester City?
Man, that's a good question. That's just what I was thinking. You know, this same Real Madrid that played a blinder today were totally annihilated by Barcelona. Was it 4-5-0 the other day? And they looked clueless. So I think it's a hybrid of both. It's a mixture of a sublime, irrepressible performance by Real Madrid and a really bad day at the office by City. City looked like they didn't have a proper plan. They looked unfit. They looked clueless. And I was wondering, you see, football is they call it a beautiful game, but it's such a dramatic game, such a game that can be quite unpredictable. This was a City side that last year or 2 years ago looked like nobody was ever going to lay a glove on them or lay a finger on them. Now they look like they could lose to anyone.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question to you. Trying to call you short, just a continuation to your answer, maybe to help get perspective to this. You know, obviously, City defense now is useless, nothing to write home about. That first goal for me was elementary defending. I used to tell my players in the academy, when you're a defender that's such ball, you have to get yourself a yard. You don't try to run with Mbappe, who is even one of the fastest forwards in football. Now, I know you have been very, very slow and reluctant to question Pep. When is he going to be right to question Pep? Because as far as I know, most of the time when team doesn't do well over a period of time, the coach takes the blame, take responsibility. When are we going to start to question Pep?
It's now. The selection today was strange, with Haaland starting from the bench, De Bruyne starting from the bench. I think probably he is starting to try to rebuild or transition. Start to integrate the players that he bought newly and see if there's a different way of playing. That did not work at all. So maybe he's now realizing the limitations of a player like Haaland, though he scores a lot of goals. But apart from scoring goals, hardly you don't see anything that you can say he contributes to the team, apart from scoring goals and getting a few assists here and there. So maybe someone like Mamouche, he believed will contribute overall defensively, offensively, and with mobility to charge down opponents and still make plays and all that. So that could be the only reason I would say he left someone like Haaland on the bench. Yes, at this point, Pep has kind of been found out. Looks like there's no plan B. It's either tiki-taka or nothing. And tiki-taka, like he himself pointed out the other day, is being phased out, with these teams that are very direct, very robust.
And physical.
And physical, yes. So he has tried to bring in a player to kind of help play the Rodri thing. The guy is a good player, but man, even if you bring him and Rodri together now, with the way City are playing, one or two players cannot, make a team. Things have certain players have grown. A lot of people are questioning Pep's insistence on playing Bernardo Silva. Bernardo Silva is getting more and more dirty. Playing, looking for who to fight, looking for, fouling people off the ball, playing some dirty games to get through the game and win an advantage, and it's just not working anymore for City.
Yeah, I believe Pep. I've been saying it for a long time because I saw this from last season. For me, City started looking bad last season. But if you remember, I kept saying that this team is conceding goals. Everybody scores them 1, 2, 3 goals. City don't have defenders who naturally want to defend. Because of the technical ability and what they have going forward, they were not found out. But toward the end of last season, they were found out last season. And this season, everything exploded. Pep, like you mentioned, for me, has to be questioned. And it looks like he might have to walk away because this set of players are not going to work for him. And things have changed in the financial side of things in football. There are more stricter rules now to finances and hiring of players. And again, like I mentioned, if you remember, we had a conversation again a few weeks ago. And I said something about in those days what David Dean did for us. Wenger, once he left, David Dean left. Wenger kind of suffered. I think Pep has also lost a lot of people in the back end of things. I remember a few years ago when people used to praise him, he used to always mention, I've forgotten that guy, I think it's Ineos or whoever that was working with him that used to recruit players for City. All he needed to do was to tell them the profile of player he needed. They will go and find that player. Now, it looks like those resources are no longer available to him, so he's beginning to be found out. So I don't think Pep can come back from this with this team. First time in his career, he's going to coach a team. They don't come out from the group stage. He's unheard of. And I don't even know how many games they won within this round. I'm not sure they won up to 3 games in all 10 games that they played. And this is unprecedented. So for me, but that takes us to the next point. I've City in a rebuild.
Yes, absolutely, they are. They are, and it's going to still take quite a few players to come in, and a few players to leave. I think they are already in a rebuild.
How soon do you think they're going to come back?
I would say probably still 2 more windows.
2 more.
2 more windows. Summer window, winter window, maybe after next season. But the thing is, you rightly said, Pep is burnt out. No doubt about that. His body language, the way he approaches the game, you can tell you that he's burnt out. And so we're looking at an era in City with a new coach. We'll see what happens with that, right? But the genius in him, the ego in him will push him to believe that he can stay and rebuild and, and fight again and win again. But the truth is that there are managers that are coming up. Other teams have grown wiser and maybe have a bit more finances now to still be able to attract star players. It's not only City attracting the best now. Other teams are also attracting star players. So it gets more difficult from here on. So, I think you rightly said, you pointed it out last season. I didn't see, Pep dealt with me. PTSD is I'm still worrying, recovering from the PTSD. How the guy dominated the Premiership so much so that, people didn't have the guts to fight him. But now people have the guts now to try and get results out of City, and they are getting that.
I agree with you that in a serious rebuild, and when you go into rebuild, I don't agree with you that 2 transfer windows now. I don't think City this time next season are still going to be in contention. It's going to take them 2 seasons to come back. When you go into rebuild, because you don't just need 5 players. You need more than that because you also need a bench. You don't want to just have 11 players who are good enough. In that City first 11 right now, I don't really know how many of them will start in an ideal Pep's 11 for City. Based on their physical condition and everything. Right now, Gundogan and the receiver, like you pointed out, if prime Pep's team, both of them will not start. Even KDB is not even started. So who is left in the first 11? So Akonji has been found out defensively. It looks like he's not as good as we thought he was. Because he was good going forward, we don't really see what he is defensively. Like I said, the only defender that they have in that team right now is Netanyahu, and he's been battling with injuries. So for City to actually do a full rebuild, they need at least 10 players of that level. So for City and Pep, and that coach can come in with these same players and do better because they probably fit what he wants to do. But the way Pep likes to play, this set of players, I've said it and that like maybe 3-4 months ago, I said these players will send Pep to jail. They can't do what he wants them to do. And it's going to be, for me, is a big problem. I don't think City will come back next season even. They make top 4 next season, that should be a win. And that takes us to the point where Pep probably will have to walk away. Like I said, the financial rules are stricter. You just said it now. It's a little bit more of a level playing ground for everything. And whatever you want, whatever you can afford, that things can afford it. And you're not allowed to outspend people anymore. The owners still have money. But within the confines of the rules, they can really spend as they used to spend before. And this is the difference between them and other teams. Exactly what Chelsea did when they came in. They outspent everybody, one things that they did. Fair play to them, but now the rules are different. So you have to play within the rules, and it's a little bit difficult for some teams to function. Enough on City. Let's talk about Real Madrid. Mbappé. I raised my hands up when Mbappé came to Real Madrid. I never complained about his quality, but my point, I didn't feel that the balance of that team would give him the foundation or the base to flourish. And we saw it. But what I can do, as long as I put my hands up, I also feel, I don't know what you think, I want to give credit to Don Carlo. I think it's more of him than Mbappé proving himself. Because when Mbappé arrived, we could see the body language of Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham. All these players, everybody was trying to shine. I listened to Jude Bellingham this evening after the game. You could see that he has retreated from trying to be the shining star, now working for the team and to help Mbappé to shine. So I think that has helped Mbappé. But I don't know what your view on Mbappe's form. Right now, he's on 28 goals this season for Real Madrid in competition. That is unprecedented.
Incredible.
The player started with that bad form to have 28 goals at this point. I don't think anybody can question that.
The cream will always rise to the top. Mbappe is a cream de la cream. He is top class. I'm talking about Ballon d'Or conversation every year. And so I was startled at his bad form at the beginning of the season because I've seen this guy over and over and he's unplayable on any given day. Right? And for him to have done everything he did at PSG and still have the mind to decide to go to Real Madrid where the stakes are highest, right? Where the expectations are highest. With everything going on, the guy said, I'm going to Real Madrid. He's gone there, and what he has done this season, man, so far, And he can still do more because the team is only going to get better. Yeah. He is crazy. Real Madrid, man, I look at that team, the attacking force is, when you see them play on a good day like today, where are you going to start?
Other people do front, they are doing front four.
Where are you going to start? Is it Rodrigo? Is it Bellingham? Is it Vinicius? Or is it Mbappé?
These guys are mentality.
Yeah, the guys are crazy.
They are monsters, man. They are monsters. Yeah. Let's touch a few of individuals. You mentioned some names there. I said it earlier on. First of all, I want to start with Valverde. I'm somebody that doesn't easily give people credit. I like to watch a pattern. Even before I condemn somebody in football, I watch, a habit for about a period of time. I've watched Valverde now since Real Madrid had this defensive crisis. And he was deployed to the right back. Let me borrow your phrase, the body of work that guy has put in. For a player that is that technically gifted to be doing that work for the team, and producing week in, week out in that position, both defensively and offensively. I don't know what more to say about that player. And there are a few players in that team. And this is the reason why it's a blessing to be a Real Madrid coach, because they have these players. These are players who are playing for the team. I don't know what you have meant about Valverde.
For me, he has the best shot in the world football right now. Consistent, shooting isn't as easy as people think. Sometimes it may fall for you, sometimes it may not fall for you. But Valverde has mastered the technique of shooting from outside the box. His shots are always on target level, and you can see the way he plays that he knows what he's doing. Right? I think that guy is grossly underrated. He's one of the best players in the world right now, like you said. Incredible midfielder, incredible engine, never gets tired. His passing, his leadership qualities, no drama. He's a proper player. Those are the people that you build world-class title-winning sides around. And he has shown it at Real Madrid.
If you ask me to pick one player for Real Madrid, I would take Rodrigo. I am so in love with that player. He reminds me of Kaka, the legendary Kaka.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't want to start. I want you to talk about Rodrigo.
Rodrigo, I dreamt all summer, prayed all summer. That prayer, God refused to answer it. I was like, can something happen that will get this guy, make him available? Is it possible for this guy to cross carpet and move from Madrid to the Arsenal? Well, the thing is, those guys in Madrid are not stupid. They know. They know. No matter what's going on, they know.
They were stupid with Odegaard now. Though he wasn't proven at that time.
He wasn't proven at that time, and they had a lot going on at that time too.
Yeah.
Rodrigo is proven, and he's such a team player. You don't see the guy whine over anything. They constantly foul him. He gets up and carries on with the game. He's playing from the right wing, and you see him popping up anywhere around the box, being dangerous every single time.
Do you know what Bellingham said this evening? In a team that you have Vinicius Jr. and all these players, Modric, do you know what he said? He said that Rodrigo is the most technical player, gifted player in Real Madrid.
Yeah.
And when
I'm not surprised.
People will jump on you. I remember when people will jump on you. Teammates say some of the things that he does with the football, that if he tries it himself, sometimes his ankle will pop.
No, I'm not surprised.
And another thing I never knew, or maybe I forgot, he said his favorite wing is actually to play from the left. He's sacrificing for Vinicius Jr. And he's still delivering wherever he's played. Like you said, never fights over anything, gets the job done quietly and walk away. Doesn't look for limelight or anything. It's a blessing to have players like that in your team. And going forward, people did that look back this season, but from what I saw today, though we know that City was nowhere close to them in terms of class, but going forward, when it goes to knockout stages, Madrid is a different animal. I don't know who they're going to play. I heard there is a probability of them playing against Atletico Madrid or Leverkusen. And
you know what? If there are any two teams that will beat them,
it's those two. I can't wait for that matchup. I can't wait for that.
If there are any two teams, it will be those two.
Yeah. But the problem is that it's going to be over 2 legs. It's not one match.
Yeah, that's true.
That's where the issue is. Madrid over 2 legs, you have to be on it. Because even if you win in the first leg, the second leg, they find a way.
Over 2 legs, I would trust Atletico more than Leverkusen.
Yeah.
To beat them, yeah.
Yeah, me too. It's crazy. Yeah, our viewers out there, don't forget to let us know what you think. There's a lot to talk about this one. We can't continue going on and on. This was really, I know last week I predicted that City were out at Madrid. I'll put my money on Madrid, but it was nowhere close to anything called contest today. Manchester City were abysmal. They were just disappointing. Pep himself resigned, not looking hopeful, even after the game. So I don't know Manchester City fans out there, I know a lot of you are new generation fans. You don't know losing, you don't know adversity. You have to learn it. It's part of the game. You can't win all the time. Even Madrid now, there were times they had issues. Right now, they're not even doing well in their league. It's part of the game. And it's looking more and more likely that this era is gone. I don't know if whether Pep will accept it or not, but it's going to be very, very difficult with what teams like Liverpool, Arsenal, Aston Villa, even Nottingham Forest, the kind of weight they have outside that team right now. If they succeed this season, by next season, they're going to even get stronger. And these are going to be teams, these teams now will be ahead of City in terms of the rebuild, because City are going to start all over. And they have to only spend within the confines of what the rule allows them, which makes it even more difficult for them to come back. And I won't be surprised next season Rodri show up in Real Madrid, because he has won all he needs to win with Manchester City. You know, so yeah. I don't know, what's your anything for us to close?
Well, yeah, we're looking for it's exciting. Champions League squaring up now. Arsenal will play the final or PSV. We're looking forward to some solid matchups in the final. Now, is it final 16? I believe it's final 16.
Yeah, 16, last 16.
Last 16.
Yeah, final 16 before you go to the quarters. And before we close, there was another game today. The video is out there. Please check out that video on Aston Villa and Liverpool. I know you are not you're not available to make that video with me. Any few comments on that one before we go?
He's getting interesting. It's getting interesting. It was a good testament, a good show of the attacking and exciting possibilities in English football. You know, both sides are very attacking. You know, hardly playing the best of defense, but they fought back and forth. And the maestro, the incredible maestro called Mohamed Salah, showed as usual that he doesn't go through a game without impacting it. He has to be a GA registered. You know, he had 2 GA today, 1 goal and 1 assist. But then Aston Villa had the opportunity to win that game. And again, you know, it shows also, yes, ended 2-2. I think Aston Villa should have won that game, but somehow the limitations of Unai.
Yeah, to be honest, either team would have won it. I mean, Nunez, I've told you right from last, Nunez cannot even score a goal to save his life or save anybody. You know, if he has scored that one and went 3-2, I'm sure Aston Villa won't be able to come back from it. Yeah, so that's what you get, almost to Salah. That's what Liverpool is right now. But there's something I observed in that game. Put an eye from now going forward on Van Dijk. Van Dijk looks like he's getting tired physically. You know, that man has played almost every game for Liverpool this season. It looks like they begin to catch up with him. And I'll watch that out against City. And if that's the case, Liverpool will have a serious issue in their hand, because defensively right now, they're all over the place. Trent can't even finish 90 minutes. The young man that comes to help out defensively, when you change him, got injured today. And nobody knows if it's going to be a long-time injury or just a knock. So we'll find out this weekend. City need to make top for Liverpool, need to keep the gap on top of the league. So it's going to be an interesting weekend. Watch out for this weekend. We're going to have City, Liverpool, Arsenal, West Ham, and I think Newcastle is playing Chelsea. Yeah, there are some very interesting games coming up this weekend. And we'll see you guys again next time. Ciao. Thanks, my brother. And
Thanks,
I'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.